Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have candies from Europe, neighboring countries, Spain and France. First, Fundador Solera Reserva, nice embossed glass bottle. I bought this for $13 at Savannah discount. Normally it's about 16, so I saved about $3. $16. Brandy Fundador. Only place I ever saw it was at Savannah discount. Although it's probably sold at some other stores around here. Not here, but in New Orleans. No age statement, which it could not have if it's using a Solera method. You can read about that. And it's from Pedro Domecq distillery, a distillery that has been in continuous operation since 1730. All right. Very popular in the Philippines, not popular in the United States. And I guess it's popular in Spain too. Their heyday was the 1970s, 40 to 50 years ago. But it's still, doing okay. Here's a new kid on the block with an old label. The lady that owns this company, Ricou Spirits, says she got this label from an old discontinued brandy from the 19th century. She wasn't violating copyright because the company had probably been out of business 100 years. Pale and old Brandy Sainte Louise. There's a crown, but there's no King of France anymore. There's a two unicorns. There's a honeybee, I guess. Pale and old Brandy Sainte Louise, introduced in 2018. Produced in France for Ricou Spirits. I bought this at Savannah discount also. They had one bottle left, I noticed last time I was there over a week ago. And what was it, $20? Or was it $20.99? Okay, so $21, $13. Both discounted. You're not going to, if you find it, it's not going to be $21. All right, it's more like $30. But hey, Savannah discount. So, but we're going to go by what I paid. So it's the Brandy Sainte Louise going to really be $8 better. Doubt that. So far, Fundador has won. Why? Because it's way better than the other ones I tried, the Martell VS and the Martell Blue Swift. No. No, and the Saint Remy XO. No. It's because the price is so nice. They were all kind of like even, but the price was so very nice. So consequently, it was winning. Next taste challenge is not going to be till Wednesday. Then there's not going to be one on Thursday because I went out of sequence. I was doing I did a rye whiskey. Old overhaul, the new and improved version. Can't find the old version now. Probably never find it now. But and then I was going to do rye whiskey taste challenges, and I said to myself, "What are you doing? You went out of sequence. You're supposed to do rum next." I said, "Oh, rum." So I'll have to double back to rye later. I'll just post a solo review and then I'll double back. But I'm going to do the Ronrico silver label. I see that Daniel Newman and Backwoods Billy, I'm sorry, Backwoods Billy pretty much is gone off the grid. Talking about Hillbilly Select. Hillbilly Select did Ronrico Silver versus Gold, and Daniel Newman did Ronrico Silver label. So I'm gonna watch those two videos after I do my solo. Then I'll do Ronrico versus everybody that I've got. The Palo Viejo, the Bacardi Silver, the Castillo, the Bocador, Caliber, and so on. All right. Foil cap top for the Brandy Sainte Louise, just a metal cap for the Fundador. Yes, they have some very expensive corked, caged ones, but they're not $13. All right. Some of them age 18 years. Yeah. So you wouldn't expect to get them for 13 because guess what? You're not. I mean, you might get it for free if somebody gives it to you for a gift. I don't think they're sold in the USA, though. I think we only get the Solera. It's just like, Pedro Domecq company says just sell that. See if there's any movement on it. Otherwise, we're not going to send a lot of different brandies to the United States so they can sit on the shelf and not move. Can't actually blame them for that. Now, this one is corked. It's not a true piece of cork. It's that, like people told me, that particle board cork. It's like little chips of cork pasted together with some kind of resin, adhesive resin. Oh, well, still cork, a cork product, but not a true chunk of cork. All right. You say, well, it's better than the rubber. Some people are saying that the rubberized corks are actually better because they don't deteriorate as fast and they give you a better seal, like a tighter seal. So what do I know for corks? Amber. Same color, so I don't have to worry about the color clash. This is a radio clash. All right, so I don't have to worry. Now, what did they say about the Fundador Solera? They say a lot. Solera. Fundador Solera is a brandy of Jerez. That's the town in Spain. Looks like Jerez in English, Jerez. That, in contrast to whiskey and gin, etc., is the only one that derives from the grape and from the distillation of wine. That's what they're saying. Brandy is like whiskey and gin in the sense that it's usually a 40% alcohol liquor, but it comes from grape wine. Aged in oak cask, although you don't have to make it from grape wine. You can make brandy from oranges, apples, etc. I've noticed that Walmart yesterday, they had potato vodka. So my friend David was telling me about that old potato vodka. From Idaho, makes sense, right? Oregon, Idaho. Giving it nobility, aged in oak casks, giving it nobility. The Solera of this one is established. Well, see, they're translating it to English, so some of it doesn't make a lot of sense. Giving it nobility, the Solera of this wine is established in 1874. Its aging in oak barrels gives him his characteristic nobility, gives him the wine, brandy wine, both in the aroma and in the flavor. So, well, they're good at making brandy. Maybe they're not so good at translating Spanish to English. That's okay. That's okay. I'm okay. Pale and old, Brandy Sainte Louise is blended and aged in Cognac region of France. Blended and aged. It's not distilled in Cognac, okay? Was developed to fulfill the desires of bartenders and drinkers searching for a classic fruit-forward brandy crafted in a traditional manner and made popular by the essential and influential brandy-based libations of the late 19th century. Brandy Sainte Louise will bestow depth, texture, and a marvelous balance of classic fruit structure to your preferred brandy-based cocktails. And they say they're using a blend of brandies aged between 3 and 10 years. So you got 3-year-old up to 10. But they don't give an age statement because they'd have to call it a 3-year-old, even though they got 10-year-old brandy in it. Paul Pacoult of the Spirit Journal gives it 4 stars, highly recommended. Difford's Guide, I'm not familiar with Difford's Guide. I've heard people talk about it. Gives it 4.5 stars out of 5. All right. Brandy Sainte Louise, Fundador Solera. And away we go on this Dawnbuster Sunday, February 7th, 2021. Well, what can you say? It's like grapes, like grape skins, tannic. If I was thinking of wine, what kind of wine would it smell like? I would say sherry. And if you've never had sherry, then there's no way you could relate to it. But sherry wine would be very funky, especially like a cream sherry or a I was going to say not a cocktail sherry, because cocktail sherry, like Sheffield cocktail sherry, is so very dry. Yeah, like a cream sherry. It's spicy in the nose, like spiced bread, but there's no bread. There's no spices added. Similar. Now, the lady that runs Ricou Spirits that developed this Sainte Louise, Brandy Sainte Louise, she said she was really trying to develop a cooking brandy, like a really good brandy for cooking. I guess I could try doing that, pouring a little in eggs or whatever, but I hate to waste it on food. But they got some sherry you can buy called Taylor Sherry, excellent for cooking. Hard to find. It's spiked with brandy. Taylor, probably Paul Masson brandy. Taylor, excellent for cooking. Used to call it Taylor Cooking Sherry, but they had to change the name because cooking sherry is a specific food product. Might be 18% alcohol, but it must contain salt, so it's not fit for drinking. You can't drink it, you probably throw it up. All they did was change the name, excellent for cooking. And they say on the website, but you can sip on it while you're cooking, which is what most of the chefs do. That's what they were saying. That's what they said on the website. All right. It's clean. It's clean. It's not as spicy. Oh, much more spicy. Nutmeg, cinnamon. Nutmeg, cinnamon. And mint. Like if my mother used to grow mint in the backyard. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It must be the Fundador Solera. Wow. A $30 brand. I'm going to go by the price I paid. A $21 bottle versus a $13 bottle. Wow. Here we go. Still dark. Oh, man. Oh, so nicey because it is so spicy. Red beans and ricey. Heat order twicey. Yeah. The body is kind of light. The flavor is very spicy. And I don't mean spicy hot. I mean like a Christmas cookie spice. That kind of experience. Semi-sweet finish. Well, it's got to be the Brandy Solera. The Fundador. Fundador means the founder. Fundador. Founders Solera. Who is the founder? Pedro Domecq, a French immigrant to Spain. True story. Got a lot of these companies like that. Scottish people starting brandy, like Hennessy. You know, French people starting scotch, and Scottish people starting bourbon, and so on and so on. Now, this one has more of a caramel taste, like a caramel candy. The Hershey's Caramel Squares or Werther's Original. Yeah. And a lot of oak. And there's a little more depth of flavor, which is making me think it's got a lot of older, like say the 10-year brandy in it, 10-year aged. So I would average out to about 7 years. Now she said it was between like a a VS and an XO. Well, makes sense, right? A VS and an XO. Like those three grades, VS, VSOP, and XO. Those are not legal terms. They're just generally accepted terms. Trade organizations, it's not the law. A little oak there. Now, if you're used to whiskey, the brandy is going to be a different world. You may not like it. You may love it. You might find it better than whiskey. I don't know. I tried tequila for the first time yesterday. I was at River Ridge Market, famous liquor store on Jefferson Highway in Jefferson, Jefferson Parish, Louisiana. It's just a convenience store, but you know, it's not really a convenience. It's a convenience store. What is it? It's a liquor store under the guise of a convenience store. And you can buy milk there. You can buy candy bars. You can buy chocolate bars. You can buy Coca-Cola, whatever. But aspirin, you can buy aspirin. But you know what? When you go in there, it's obviously a wine shop and a liquor store and a beer store. I don't know why in Louisiana it's done that way. It could be some tax purpose. Like you may have to pay higher taxes if you're a liquor store instead of a convenience store that happens to sell liquor. And it just so happens that 90% of your sales are liquor. Same thing with these scamdemic regulations. You cannot, you will not, and you cannot sell liquor, and all bars must be closed during Mardi Gras weekend and Mardi Gras by order of the dictator of New Orleans. So the bars can't open. But if you're a restaurant that sells liquor, no problem, man. But go to some of these restaurants and they look curiously like a bar. But anyway, I don't want to get into all this legalese and talking about dictatorial government that we have in America these days. The land of the subjects, you know. Anyway. But even in our sort of Marxist-Leninist existence these days, you can still get some decent liquor products, kind of like you could have in East Germany in 1980. You say, well, it was very grim in 1980. It was grim. You could go to the store and buy a can of sardines from Cuba. The quality was deficient to the extreme, but you could order a new car, brand new car, for like $1,200. Now, it might take you 9 years to get it. The door handle would probably fall off after a day of driving, but you could still, it was the people's car, you know, power to the people, right on, like John Lennon said, as he lived in a mansion. But with Yoko, this one is more sugary. Now, you see the one in my right hand is more sugary, which is curious. Having a hard time figuring them out. So, very spicy. Spice. And sugary caramel. Well, I think the quality level is even. The enjoyment level is even. There are no off flavors or aromas with either one, good, which is a good thing. I've encountered that with French brandies in the past. They taste like almost like rotten fruit. Not really an enjoyable thing. The deals I got at Walmart the last week were unbelievable. Like literally unbelievable. I was buying them and I couldn't believe it. I don't know what's going on over there, and I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to take advantage of it. To imagine what I bought there, to imagine what I bought for those prices, that was maybe Walmart got their corporate spies at Savannah discount And anyway, okay, it's a tie on flavor, so nobody wins. All right, believe me, neither brandy wins. But then, in a practical sense, that means the Fundador Solera wins. Well, if it's a tie on flavor, why would Fundador win? Easy answer. Fundador is $8 cheaper per bottle. I don't know about you, but I would rather pay $8 less and get the same quality performance, which is what I'm noticing here. But yeah, that Avion, doubling back to what I was starting to talk about, I tried Avion tequila because I went to River Ridge Discount. Like I said, the convenience store that just happens to sell an enormous amount of liquor and wine and beer. There was a lady giving a tasting. She was like, hey, y'all want to try this and that and this? I couldn't understand what company she was from, but I found out later it was Pernod Ricard. Pernod Ricard. She was a representative of the company, and they do that around here in New Orleans area with liquor stores, or I'm sorry, convenience stores. They'll have a little table set up. And I mean in places that you would never think. Like, what? This is like a bum shop. Not River Ridge Discount, but I'm thinking of some other ones. There's the girl with the nice outfit. Would you like to try some Seagram's gin? I remember that one day, and this old guy comes in there and he's like, I tell you what, I think I will try some. Then he says, I tell you, as a matter of fact, I think I'll try all of them. And the girl was like, okay. I got a kick out of that. As a matter of fact, I'll try all of them. But at River Ridge, she had this Avion tequila, which I never tried tequila before in my life. And I tried it. I took a big, it was strong. I took a big shot of it. I was like, oh. She poured a full amount. I don't think she was supposed to pour that much. But anyway, I said, woof. She said, watch, you're going to notice how smoky it is. And I said, boy, is it. It was like smoked bell peppers to me. It's what it tasted like. You say, well, it's agave, fool. It's agave, blue agave. Yeah, I know. I get that. I don't eat agave. Thank you. So it tasted like smoked bell peppers. Oh, it was really good. I said, whoa, I'm going to have to start getting into tequila. But that's why I never wanted to try tequila. Because I knew it was going to be like a sickness, like I'll try it. And then I'll say, oh, I got to try everything. And then she was giving out samples of Martell Blue Swift finished in bourbon barrels. So I went and did my research. When I got home, I said, Pernod Ricard. They own all of that. Avion, they bought Avion. They bought them out. Independent company bought them out. See, they're going to get bought. You're going to get bought out if you're a successful independent brewery or distillery. Martell Blue Swift got bought out by Pernod Ricard. Chivas Brothers got bought out by Pernod Ricard, and so on. So she was giving samples, but I just tried one. And my friend David tried. And then he was like, I want to buy a tequila, or I want to buy a mezcal. I said, well, here's their mezcal section. And he was like, oh, that's too expensive. It was like $50. I said, well, buy this one. I pointed at St. Albans. St. Albans, Albans, mezcal. And I know, I remember seeing that around. I said, it's only $19.99. I said, I got to do some research on St. Albans. Something's telling me that's famous. Famous. And then, like with tequila, they got the famous Jose Cuervo Gold. And now, some people say, that's garbage, that's trash. Well, I think you'd probably have to have a child's mentality to believe that. Because you think Cuervo Gold is the most popular tequila in the world because people hate it. You say, it's all marketing. It's all marketing. Yeah, okay. Did I say it was world class? I said it wasn't trash. I've never even tried it, and I said it wasn't trash. Good morning, Ron, says Maxwell. Good morning to you in Russia, the Russian Federation. So I'm going to say this is the Brandy Sainte Louise. It does very well, but it does not win this contest. I have to say that the Solera Reserva from Fundador is better by virtue of the $8 price difference. And most people do have to pay attention to price. That makes sense to me. So I'm going to say this is not the Fundador. Ha ha, and it's not. Ha ha ha. Am I an expert? No, maybe I'm lucky. But I have been getting it right. And the thing that stands out about the Fundador Solera from Pedro Domecq, it's so spicy. It is like a spiced holiday bread. So just the residue in the glass smells like. So if you want to drink a brandy that is so spiced, nutmeg, cinnamon, maybe cardamom, all these things, get it, assuming you can find it. Now, what about an American brandy that would evidence those things? Well, there isn't really any, but I guess Paul Masson is kind of like that. Paul Masson VS is kind of spicy, and there is one from Corbel, owned by Brown Forman. There is one from Corbel called Corbel XS, but it's spiced. It's actually spiced. It's still 40%. It would be kind of a liqueur, but it's spiced. It says with added spices. XS, get it? Extra spices, extra spiced, extra spices. So I bought that one time and never saw it again. And Tanya Mikowski was like, "That's my favorite brandy," and we did a duo examination. It was very good hangout. But anyway, so that's it. Wednesday, I'll be back for Dawn Busters. So we'll take a 2-day break, and then we'll take another day break, and then Friday come back. That's the plan, at least. The winner again, Fundador Solera. They've been making it since 1874. Somebody's doing something correct. Somebody's doing something right, to say the least. So we'll enjoy the brandy taste challenges, and then starting Friday, get ready for the rum diary. The rum diary. We doing silver rum, Ricou versus everybody. Everybody.